Coming to you live from downtown Windsor, this is a St. Clair College MediaPlex production.
Good evening, I'm Luna Nujro.
And I'm Kiranpreet Kaur, and you're watching
the MediaPlex Insider. The library is full of knowledge and insight. Georgia has the details.
I'm here at Windsor Public Library Central Branch, and did you know that there's tons of activities that go on every single day at different branches? Even with the internet in the digital age at our fingertips, it is still essential to support your local library. According to windsorpubliclibrary.com, in 2022, approximately 98,000 out of 230,000 Windsorites own a library card. This is all for good reason. The library offers hands-on experience while getting out of the house as well. Even though it seems like a quiet sanctuary for studying, the library can actually be quite fun with plenty of events offered. From seasonal scavenger hunts to roundtable discussions, the community calendar on the library's website gives you all the info about where and when these events are being held. The bulletin boards are also a great way to find out what's happening in our community. So make sure to check out what's happening at your local library at windsorpubliclibrary.com. And don't forget to return your books. I'm Georgia LeBlanc with MediaPlex News.
Immigration is an important part of our society, and many are trying to overcome the obstacles associated with it. Luna brings us this report.
The federal government is slashing the project number of new permanent residents. It's allowed into the country by at least 20%. That's down from the previous target, 500,000 per year.
Greetings. My name is Ghassan Saka, the Executive Director of the Integrative Canadian Group Organization. There is a different opinions about the new Canadian immigration strategy. Many argue that the limitation of immigration could impact Canada's economy, especially in sectors relies on foreign workers. Some say Canada multicultural society and lowering immigration numbers could hinder the country's cultural diversity and social fabric. Some supporters of the new law think lowering numbers allows for better integration of newcomers already in the country, ensuring that they have the access of resources and support.
This is a further reduction in 2026, decreasing the target to 380,000 permanent residents. This aims to stabilize population growth and reduce the strain on urban environment and public service.
Because we are already here, it concerns us less, but I do have friends who are planning to come to Canada for study or work or otherwise, and this news is a bit concerning because we don't know how it's going to go, what's the number of seats next year, what's allowed, what's not allowed, and stuff like that. So I kind of do feel for the people who are planning to come to this country in the future.
For MediaPlex News, I'm Luna Nujro. Thank you, Tumi. Let's head over to Zach, where he is standing by with an early look at the weather. Hi, Zach.
Good evening, ladies. It's nice to be with you this evening. Hold on to your hats because it's a windy one out there, but it is still a warm evening with temps in the mid-teens. So how long will the winds stay around? And when can we expect it to blow away? I'll tell you in your 3-day forecast coming up a little later on in the show. Back to you.
Last week, we welcomed our waterfront guest from the military. Let's watch.
All aboard the HMCS Harry DeWolf. The huge Navy vessel docked at Dieppe Gardens was hopping with locals from November 1st to 2nd. Former DeWolf sailor, Sailor Michaela Bustamante, said the Navy ship was visiting Windsor to recruit and show naval presence around Canada.
So this ship is HMCS Harry DeWolf. It's the first of the Arctic and Offshore Patrol Vessel class, also known as the Harry DeWolf class. She's designed to be a medium icebreaker and do constabulary patrol duties in Canada's northern waters.
Navy member Pierre Coet said even on the first day, plenty of people turned up to tour the ship.
It's the first day here, so a couple hundred people, I would say probably 500 people have came in so far to visit the ship. So it's a pretty good turnout, and hopefully tomorrow it's going to be even better.
Meeting Coet's expectations, the next day, the crowd was lined up around the corner into the parking lot of Dieppe Gardens. Despite the wait time, the extravagant interior of the ship did not disappoint. The friendly tour guide explained what was on the deck and what its purpose was before leading the crowd upstairs into the control room. And if you waited through the long lines, it certainly paid off. I'm Georgia LeBlanc from MediaPlex News.
Thank you so much, Georgia. The curtain has fallen on another WEF season, and it has been a success. That's all. Takes a look at this year's festival.
The Windsor International Film Festival turns 20 in 2024, celebrating a major milestone.
We could be very, very proud. The lifespan of film festivals in North America is 2 years. So the fact that we're here celebrating 20 years is extraordinary.
The Windsor International Film Festival was founded by late businessmen Mark Baskerville and Dennis Perlin in July 2005.
It was started by a group of community leaders and community volunteers, initially to just bring more traffic and business to the downtown. It wasn't set up just necessarily to be just a real film festival, set up just to be an activity to bring people downtown.
Ted Bizer, a local filmmaker, has been a part of the Windsor film industry since 2005 and considers the Windsor International Film Festival to be an opportunity to reach a broader audience.
For me, being a Windsor filmmaker, it's a really special time when I'm able to show my work to a local audience. And, time and time again, audiences have shown up, supported our films, and so it's really special that we have this opportunity and this platform of WIF, to showcase our films to local crowds.
According to Georgie, the Windsor International Film Festival's biggest achievements are the increase in the number of audience from 2,000 people in 2005 to expecting over 47,000 people in 2024. And the expansion quality of the program, where about 2,000 feature films are shown from around 50 different countries in a span of 11 days. In 2019, the Toronto International Film Festival awarded the Windsor International Film Festival as the largest volunteer-run festival in Canada.
To think that across all of Canada we're the largest volunteer-run film festival is extraordinary, and I think part of WIF's success is that it's been built by people here in Windsor, and we can all be very, very proud of that.
According to Georgie, the Windsor International Film Festival faced their biggest challenge during the COVID-19 pandemic in 2019.
Yeah, COVID was a huge one because live entertainment was really one of the most dangerous things that you could be doing during the pandemic. So COVID was an enormous challenge for us, but it brought us actually some enormous success, just different success. We had a lot of fun doing a drive-in. We flew under the stars for 2 years down by the waterfront, and we did a lot of work on our organization, a lot of behind-the-scenes work. So we're very proud of that. COVID was an enormous challenge, but ultimately it actually benefited us in some way.
The WIF Under the Stars took place at the front lawn of the Aquatic Centre from June 7 to June 9. The Windsor International Film Festival screened around 20 films, including some local and Canadian films like The Taste of the Things and Walker Will's Wilstead Manor, The Home That Shaped a Community, and Who's Your Father?, The Movie Man, The Lebanese Burger Mafia, and others, as well as some internationally recognized films like Elemental, Twister, Harry Potter, and The Deadly Hallows Part 1 and 2. They also screened Barbie and Oppenheimer, making an unofficial Barbieheimer double feature. Apart from the WIF Under the Stars, they also have another event called the Mark Baskerville 40-Hour Flick Fest, in which filmmakers have to make a short film within 48 hours.
The lockdown of the pandemic, everything closed down, including WIF and its theaters. So, it was very easy for film festivals and movie theaters around the world to close their doors and say, sorry, like every other business, we don't have something to offer you. But that's not what Windsor International Film Festival did. They decided to create a lockdown edition and challenge filmmakers to create not only within 48 hours, but now without leaving their homes. How do you make a film with a whole team of people if you can't physically be in the same room? So a lot of people took that as a new challenge. It was a great opportunity to learn and stretch new muscles. I think, they took on the challenges of the lockdown and really came out ahead.
After WIF Under the Stars, the Windsor International Film Festival organized another event called the WIF Local Retrospective as a part of their 20-year celebration on June 21 to 23 at the Capitol Theatre, downtown Windsor. The WIF Local Retrospective gives an opportunity to local filmmakers from Windsor to showcase their films.
I think the event's great. There's 20 years of WIF. The festival's been around for 20 years. There's a lot of local movies that have been filmed in Windsor. Not a lot of people in Windsor know that films are made here, so dedicating an entire weekend to letting people see all of the short films and documentaries and features made here, I think is super exciting and just helps the filmmakers continue to find supporters and businesses and locations that will help them make films in the future.
After all these events as a part of their 20-year celebration, the Windsor International Film Festival 2024 runs from October 24th to November 3rd. When asked about their achievement and celebration,
this year's 20th anniversary is very much about the next 20 years, and we're looking very, very forward to the next 20. So we're very excited by that. It's a big way to celebrate, and a 20th birthday party for us is going to be pretty great.
The farmers market is all done for the year, but what a year it was.
My name is Shane Peters, and I am the assistant manager of the Downtown Windsor Farmers Market. It is a market that runs every year from around April to October. The interest here lies in local dependence and the local community coming together to support each other, really trying to change management of our society from the top down to bottom up. So we are actually doing a holiday market around the first week of December.
My name is Patna, and I'm from Lake Shore Honey. We've been coming to the market for 7 years now. We started this business. It's a hobby. So we are a beekeeper. So all the honey you see in the table here is organic, unpasteurized, and
done the loss and favors, so nobody has to know. Now I'm tired.
I'm Trish, and this is my first time at the market, and I really like to see all the different local artisans and new places and try different things.
And I'm Sherry, and this is my first time here too. And same thing, I love seeing all the different homemade items and chocolates. Yes.
It's an amazing place for shopping, right?
Yeah, it's really amazing.
Have you been there?
No, I never get a chance, but I really wanted to be there
In the
next time.
future.
Yeah.
Zach is here with the weather and the 3-day forecast. Zach, please. No.
No snow, no flurries, at least not in my forecast. Let's take a look at that 3-day forecast. On Wednesday, we have mainly cloudy conditions with a high of 17. Thursday, sunny and a high of 11. Sunny and a high of 13 on Friday the 13th, technically. And beyond that, we just have temps that are mild for this time of year with our only chance of showers on Sunday. So relax, don't bring out your snow shovels and snow blowers yet. Keep those in the garage. Back to you.
Let's Talk is a place where we get to talk about who knows what. Let's watch and hope things don't go off the rails.
Welcome back to the chattiest panel talk show on TV. I'm here with
Ksenia Semenova,
Riley Shea.
And tonight is election night in the United States between Democratic nominee Kamala Harris and Republican nominee Donald Trump. Both candidates have made their pledge to voters as to why they should be chosen as the next president of the United States. So my question to the panel is, how anxious are we?
I think it's going to be really close. I think I've seen a lot of things go both ways, even though, you know, there's a lot of opinions. It's very divided on both sides, depending on where you lie. And I think it's going to be really close, which is kind of surprising to me, considering different things that have happened. I know some recent events are going to play into it too. I think the hurricanes in the South, a lot of people have really strong opinions about how the current administration did or didn't help them. Even though, you know, I don't know if Donald Trump went to visit them either. I'm not sure. I haven't been keeping up on it.
You probably tossed them paper towels.
I don't know. But it's interesting to see how a lot of them, maybe if they were going to potentially vote for Biden and now Kamala, they've completely changed their mind based on how the disasters were handled. So I think that's going to have a major impact on how things are, you know, for better or for worse. It's going to have a major impact.
I feel weird right now because it's the same as the Super Bowl last year because I don't know nothing about this. So I'm learning everything right now from Riley. But I have solidarity for women. So I would give my vote just for her, for Kamala, but also as a Ukrainian. So I understand that probably these elections, they will have some kind of impact, international impact for my country. And that's it. That's it.
I think it would be interesting to have a first female president, right?
Of course,
absolutely.
yes. It will be very actually cool because like there was a female president in Brazil and some, I think, other countries.
Mexico
and Premier Minister of India was woman.
Yeah, there's been a lot of world leaders that are women, just not in the U.S. We had a Canadian prime minister to a female prime minister for a very short time.
Yes.
For 1 week.
Yeah.
Felt like 1 week. Look, I'm not gonna lie, I am very anxious. I've been watching the polls. I've been watching everything more than I actually should be. And it's just, the last few days, it's been like, how? Because if you've seen Trump's rally at Madison Square Garden, that was like, I think that was the nail in the coffin, I want to, so to speak, especially with that comedian who made the joke about Puerto Rico, or joke about Puerto Rico.
Yeah, I saw that. That was not impressive.
And especially like Latinos are a major voting bloc, especially in places like Texas, Florida, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, states Donald Trump needs to lead, needs to win rather. So I put together, actually, it's kind of fun. You get to do these like 270 to win maps, kind of see like whose preferred path is to victory. So I put together Kamala's path to victory. I don't think it's unreasonable for her to flip North Carolina, but essentially, if I were to do Donald Trump's pathway to victory, it would be the same map, just flipped. Because if you think about it, when people go to vote, and this has happened in elections before, where you can, you know, vote down ballot but leave the top blank, or vice versa. So I think that's probably what's going to happen in certain parts, because Republicans, rather than vote for Kamala, are probably going to stay home, and that in a very close election could be really the end-all, be-all. Anywho, ladies, thank you. That's this edition of Let's Talk. If you want to see our full conversation, or if you thought it was just riveting and you want to watch it again, it'll be available on the Zacatech Productions YouTube channel. You can also join the conversation by commenting down below. We'll see you next time, because it's the chatter that matters. Bye.
Let's talk now about Windsor. Windsor is a strong, vibrant community, and as Raman Mahe reports, the city has a bright future.
The Windsor, Ontario was named in 1836. The name was chosen to reflect the area's English heritage, specifically referencing Windsor Castle in England. Before being named Windsor, the area was known as Sandwich. After the Earl of Sandwich, Windsor's strategic location along the Detroit River made it an important settlement and trade hub in 19th century. Dave Covillan, work as business development for automation and robotics, was born and brought up in Windsor.
In the early 1990s, we had a very severe recession. So a lot of manufacturing plants actually closed up in the city, even tool and die companies. A lot of them closed up for good, but also at the same time, because of the free trade agreement, we lost some to Mexico. So the early 90s we had a very high unemployment rate in this city. And then through the mid-90s to the late 90s, it slowly started to turn around and things started coming back. We became a little bit more specialized, and then our employment rate started to go down.
Comparing Windsor in the 1990s to the present day reveals notable changes in its development, demographics, and lifestyle. In the 1990s, Windsor was already a popular tourist destination known for the Windsor Castle and its rich history.
It's a lot harder to get a job without an education. So if you have no education, job market is actually a lot smaller than it was. I think there's a little bit more openings now in the server industry because of COVID. People don't want to work in those industries any longer, so there's a small opening there. But what I noticed was everything is more specialized. So at the current time, if you don't have a degree or graduate from college with a specialty, it's a lot harder to get those jobs. The economy has really become focused more on what they need and who they need, and it's not such a broad spectrum any longer.
The town had a quaint, traditional charm with many independent shops and a less diverse population. The infrastructure was well developed for the time, but it lacked some of the modern amenities we see today. Public transportation was effective but not as advanced as in the present.
We had GM transmission plant here at the time, and it's no longer here. It's completely closed, it's gone in fact. But the major ones now that we didn't have then, Chrysler was still there. We still have Chrysler today with 3 shifts, and now of course that's evolving into electric vehicles. The other thing we have now is we have a casino, where in the late 90s, what was called the interim casino was a part-time casino, just until they could build the new one. It was very, very lucrative for our region.
Today, Windsor has become even more cosmopolitan with a significant increase in tourism and a more diverse population. The town has seen considerable investment in the infrastructure, including improved public transportation links and more modern amenities.
The United States in Michigan didn't have a gaming facility yet. It wasn't legal. So we had a lot of Americans coming over. So that was a very, very big employer for us at a peak time, at a very important time. So now, again, we still have Casino Windsor, we still have Chrysler, and we have some larger manufacturers as well. The EV batteries, North Star, and things like that coming here. So that soon is going to change as well. So we're slowly diversifying, but not where we need to be.
Crystal Maloch is the first female mayor of LaSalle. Tell us more about safety in Windsor.
Windsor is covering Windsor and Amherstburg, and OPP covers the rest of the county.
And over the years, our residents have been very vocal that they want us to keep LaSalle Police. They love having their own police force in the community, but it's not just a police force, it's called a community policing. So community policing is, they come out to events as well. They drive around your neighborhoods at night. They knock on your door at 1 a.m. when your garage is open to tell you to put it down. They allow kids to view the cruisers. They hand out ice cream certificates for kids wearing helmets. Community policing is really important to us, but having community policing also helps keep your community safe.
Windsor is one of Canada's safest places due to the strong police and the fire services to keep the community protected despite challenges like homelessness and crime.
So we've been ranked several times in the top 10 communities of Canada for safety. We're even ranked right now the 3rd best place to live in Canada. And those stats are because of what our police have done in our community to ensure our safety. And even with changes that come in, like public transportation, we've ensured that we've continued to grow our police department so that we can make sure we have enough officers to a pedestrian ratio to protect our community. Our police force have done a fantastic job as well when it comes to traffic. That is one of our growing concerns in our community, is the amount of cars on the road, and unfortunately, I'm going to say since COVID, frustration with drivers has grown as well, and we're seeing a lot of speeding, and so we're really trying to make sure that we put programs in place that protect our residents and that we continue to do those things. So with our police force, that's our protection that they give us. As council, we're taking steps ensuring that we're providing enough funding to police as well as to fire. So the second thing we've done is in the last 2 years, we finally put our strategic plan in place for fire, which has now allowed us to build our 2nd fire hall, which is going to open at the end of this year. And then we will actually open a 3rd fire hall on the other side of our community in the next 5 to 10 years to ensure that we have coverage for our entire municipality and we can respond in the amount of time that's required by the province.
Windsor has effectively balanced its historical heritage and the modern advancements, fostering a vibrant, dynamic community. Through strong safety services, continued investment in infrastructure, technology, and ensure ongoing protection.
Windsor, a nice city, right?
Yeah, it's a great city.
How many years you
It's
live
just
here?
1 year. What about you?
2019.
Oh, that's great. So Jack is here and he's always asking, did you know? So I guess Jack is going to tell us something we don't know.
Behind me are what is known as the Canadian National Railway ferry leveling ramps. These were used back when the riverfront that we know today was a train yard. These cranes were used to load rail cars onto the ferries to bring them to Detroit. They would also load passenger vehicles on the barges so that they could continue their journey of traveling into the United States. These were at one point connected to a set of train tracks that ran underneath the Peabody Bridge and through the old train station. It was reported that City Hall wanted to remove the ramps. However, once they saw the cost of the construction, they decided to leave them, leaving these as a relic of the past. Following their initial use, they were quite popular with locals using them for recreation. Not very much is known regarding the history of the leveling ramps themselves, leaving them as one of Windsor's greatest mysteries, a mystery of what once was. For the MediaPlex, I'm Zachary Balog.
Thank you so much, Zach, and thanks for tuning in. I am Luna Nujro.
And I'm Kiran Pritkaur, and you have been watching
The MediaPlex Insider.
This has been a St. Clair College MediaPlex production.